building support through triads. So there's two different things that we can talk about here. A trio is basically three people that you put together that are inside a relationship, but they're not necessarily having one another's back. They're just doing what needs to get done because they're told that's what needs to get done. Okay? The difference with the triad, let's imagine, okay, so we have Luke, we have Leia, and we have Han Solo. Okay, so 10 minutes. So what happens, Luke, well, he's gonna know Leia soon enough. He knows Han now, and they're off to save the princess, right? So as they're saving the princess, eventually what happens is Han Solo and Leia get hooked up together and they're in a relationship. So if I took this in a slightly different frame, we could say that, let's say you know a friend that's looking for a job and you have the perfect opportunity for him and you introduce him to someone and then you make sure, are they talking? So that's the part where Luke is feeding the relationship between Leia and Han Solo. Did you guys talk? Did you talk about the job? What's happening? What opportunities are there? And eventually what you want is you want Leia to be responsible for the relationship between Luke and Han Solo. So as Luke and Han Solo are fighting about something, Leia will come in and say, okay, well, you know, Luke, did you get what he was trying to say here? Yes, no, I think this was his perspective. And it's three people eventually that are responsible for the relationship. So the goal here is when we're trying to make changes in organizations, it's hard, right? Because it feels like David and Goliath. It feels as if we're getting in there and it's difficult. Where do we start? How is this going to work? So what I'm saying is find two friends and then find the cause. Find why you're doing what you're doing and have one another's backs as you're doing it. Because what happens with the triad is eventually you'll have someone else here with Leia and Luke. And then you'll have someone here between Luke and Han Solo. And these just expand, and that is what helps you create a stage 4 tribe. Okay? It's one triad at a time with people that support one another. And one important thing with the triad is that sometimes the third leg of the triad does not need to be a person. It can be a cause. Like when I wrote a book a few years ago, Practical Guide to Distributed Scrum, with one of my co-authors, the book was the third leg of our triad. As we argued over content, we said, what's best for the book? Forget what's best for me, what's best for the book? There's different types of triads, really, when you think about it. There's more of a relational triad where really shared values bind triad members together. So that's the example I gave you earlier about you know someone who has something to sell or has an opportunity that could work for someone else. You introduce them together, you help them build their relationship, okay, and eventually everyone is responsible for that relationship. There's a structural triad that's also potentially available for people. So in this one, shared project or a shared pain point bind the triad members together. So one way I experienced this is working with a distributed team. We had a development team in India, one in Austin, Texas. So we had some managers that were meeting together every week, 3-4 managers, because to keep things coordinated and tied test-wise. So that's very pragmatic. Right? We're doing it for this. We don't really care about the relationship aspect. We're just, our goal is let's get this product out the door. Another one, more powerful, is the shared purpose triad. Okay, so as you're working in the shared purpose triad, you have a combination of values and a common purpose. What are you working towards? What's your cause? What are you trying to do in this life? Okay, so that's the ultimate combination that you can have around triads.